arbitrary spoilers. I'm gonna spoil the whole game, so yeah. Characters though, they're by far my favorite thing, so why not like them? This will be a bit quicker than usual though. Gonna try a little bit of a different thing though, to say the least. So yeah, first off is Cici. I dislike her. She was a tragic character that the story tried to like redeem, like, oh hey, she had some redeeming qualities, even though she tried to plunge basically both worlds into like chaos. So all she did was it for like selfish reasons. I don't care if she like forgot that her main goal was trying to protect the children. She still was literally a selfish bitch that did not care for literally anyone but her own selfish goals. So I don't care. Clarisstia goes in neutral. I think she's fine. I think she isn't given enough screen time to really flesh out the relationship between Nachiroux and her. But I think she's fine, to say the least. And now Eureka, this one's kind of a difficult one, because there are technically two Eurekas. There's the first timeline, and then there's like the second timeline, or there's the real timeline and the like the alternate timeline. I think the real timeline Eureka is a bit too dumb for me. Like I want to sympathize with her. I do want to sympathize with the real timeline Eureka, but she just does some like just dumb things that I just can't get behind. But in the alternate universe one, she seems more less stupid. You know, she's not, you know, like releasing a prison from a cage and whatnot. She's not letting like Thomas stay in like the attic to like leak information and whatnot. So I think I do like the alternate timeline more. And if this was like the real timeline, I'd probably put her in neutral, maybe even dislike. Like I do want to like that Eureka. I like the first Eureka, but I don't think she's given enough screen time, and I'll do that on my thoughts. But I think she's such a coin toss for me. Like I really do want to love her, but she just has a personality that's like, it's kind of cute, but it's also annoying. You know, like I want to love her, but it just leans too much on the like high-pitched annoyance that I can't really love her. So yeah, Eureu, she's sweet. You know, she's kind of sweet. She was obviously a bitch to Nachiroux when like they first met, which isn't great. But she did have a moment, you know, in when Kitkat died, and she was explaining why Kitkat mattered to her, and I thought that was sweet, you know. So that's why she just gets into like too, you know. I think that was kind of sweet. Fantie, us. I don't think we did too much this time around. Or I don't think like we had a connection, or we were getting like addressed as often as like the previous game. Again, I'll mention it. I'm doing my thoughts. But yeah, I don't think we have that. We are actually like that much, to say the least. Geaux, I hate this person. You know, he's written to be a absolutely terrible human being. You know, he raped some of the Moon Society witches. He killed basically most of them, and he tried to rape Nachiroux. So yeah, pretty easy why I hate this person. Geaux, kind of the same thing. She's just a villain, just a selfish villain that doesn't care about anything else, and literally killed her like comrades in arms just so she could just have more clones of herself. Don't like that at all. Hubert, this guy can go fuck himself. He's literally a prick. Threatened to rape Nachiroux once again, and he's a complete fucking jerk. It's like, listen. And the game wanted me to like sympathize with him. I do not care. Do not get the whole like being a prickly bitch, you know, and like fair facade. Like, I don't care. Don't be a bitch. Just be nicer to people. Don't threaten to rape people. Like, I don't see that's hard. Fuck Hubert. But yeah, Kitkat goes into neutral. I think she's chill, but I don't think she does enough to reach the like tier, pretty much. Like, there's some banters and whatnot, but she's kind of just that, like, mysterious person, but she's not, like, mysterious enough for me to like her. She's kind of just chill. So, yeah. I literally forgot her name. I'm just gonna call you Queen for now. The Queen Concert, she's also a bitch. In the first timeline, she beat up Nachiroux because Nachiroux, like, you know, didn't know that she was royalty and whatnot. Other than that, there's no reason why she would be in dislike, but yeah, she just, you know, harmed my Nachiroux, so she can go fuck herself. Marta is a interesting case. She's like Nachiroux, but also not Nachiroux. You know what I mean? Like, I do like the Nachiroux we were like getting into like Act 2, but it's like it's like in context. It's because I know that she's Nachiroux that I like her. But if it was just like a Madam Witch, if it was just Marta, she would be in neutral. But it's because I know the context that she is older Nachiroux that she does other like tier. So yeah, Mirage gets into neutral. She's chill. I like that she probably had connections, or it's hinted at that she has connections to Mazaluka. It is obviously not confirmed, but you could pretty much like speculate that yeah, she probably is connected to Mazaluka. So yeah, she's again chill. Nachiroux also gets into like tier. And now you've probably noticed that none of the main characters reached love tier, and that's kind of because I really can't put them into love tier. Nachiroux is like, I want to love her, but she is genuinely too basic. Basic is the word. I don't like some of her defining features, I guess. Like, I mainly either like cute or cool things. Cute characters or cool characters. And Nachiroux doesn't really fall into either one of those categories. Like, Nachiroux, I think Nelly put it best. You should say huh and what a lot, because quite frankly, she genuinely does. She is too clueless for a majority of the game. Like, she doesn't actually try to do something for herself, and I wish she did. I want to love Nachiroux, but she's genuinely too there's nothing that really defines her, like genuinely. For me at least, there's nothing that I can like latch onto and be like, yes, that's something that I love. That's a trait that I love about her. And I just can't. And also, her like loving her mother, sure, sweet, I don't really like that at all. Like, she cares for her mother, but she also like she can't show enough to like actually love her mother type of what it is. Like, I don't really know. Pericot goes into neutral. I did not like her at first. I think the grown-up Pericot, or the alternate universe Pericot, is an absolute brat. But before Aluna Pericot, I think she's cute, and her waiting on Nachiroux saying, when are you out? That teared me up a bit. But unfortunately, Aluna Pericot is an absolute brat, and I was just skipping her voice lines because I just didn't care for her. But Stella Pericot, it's not that bad to say the least. Pumpleton, he's kind of just there, like, he tried to assault Nachiroux, and that kind of just on default gets you in, like, dislike, just on default, if you try to, like, assault, a character that I like, or if you hurt a character that I like, then it's kind of default, just get to dislike, and, it kind of just depends on, like, if you actually reach hate tier or not. This Soleil, or Eureka's father, he's just a abusive father. He is just calling her daughter an absolute idiot, dumb, go and dislike, bye-bye. Thomas, this guy's a fool, for fuck's sake. He's a reporter that seeks the truth, and when all reality, I guess he only wants to cause chaos, because even something that will literally, like, do a revolution, he says, fuck it, I'll put this out to the masses. Who gives a fuck? Who cares if a revolution starts? And the worst part is that he chickens out, too, and he, like, leaves the border of the world. He starts a revolution and doesn't have enough balls to stay in that country, and he just leaves. Like, what an absolute coward. So that's it for all the characters I could genuinely, like, actually care about or have feelings for. Now the next one you can see is actually my brigade. Not my full brigade, because my full brigade's a bit too long. I think this time around, because I named them, I named them the same, like my main carries the previous game, Labyrinth of Refrain, so I named them after them. But it's also because I played on easy as well for like a majority of the game, that I didn't really like connect. Like, I didn't feel as connected to like my team as I did in the first game. I don't know why. I think maybe it's because I either like played the first game, or I like named them after the same characters in the previous game. I don't really know why, but I don't feel as like connected with these as my brigade as the last game. Don't know why, but obviously I'll still rank them quickly. Ani's like, she's one of the carries. Cherry actually gets pretty low actually, because it's hard to say like if she was like a carry or not. Like she was kind of just a tank, but she was kind of just there. Lana's also like, she was one of my carries, but she's also kind of unfair to everybody else because she got the Sage Lamp, which is, you know, absolutely broken. Kind of unfair to like the other Witch Brigade people that she just had a weapon that absolutely outlevels everything in the current game, or the current skill level that we had. So yeah, Percy the neutral, he's kind of the only new character, but I didn't really care for Percy either. Lad, she or Androgynous, so I guess it's them. It was one of my carries, so yeah. And then Sky, you know, the planet surprise that I actually did something this game. I like that I actually did something this game, unlike the previous game where I was absolutely trash. So yeah, but this time around, I don't really feel as connected with my Witch Brigade as I did in the last game. Again, I don't really know why. I just don't feel as connected to them. So yeah, that's all the characters I care about. Now I'm just gonna speed on through these characters because I genuinely do not care about these characters. Like I'm sorry, I just can't, and I don't have anything to like talk about them for the most part either. Count Bismon, I genuinely don't care about his story. Bisto, I do not care about his story between him and Cici. I genuinely don't care. Cobalt, the grandfather, I do not care. Doris, I don't care. Faunus, she was in like 2 or 3 scenes, so I do not care about her. Hans, don't care. Kay, I do not care about her story. Karnak, do not care about his stories. Mark, do not care about his story. Marquise, do not care about his story. Nelly, don't care about her story. Nina, I really don't care about her fucking story. I even forgot his name. I don't care for you. You showed up for 1 scene. You're a child. Don't care. You're a child as well. Don't care. And Toba, you're the maid that I don't care about. So yeah, that's it for. So yeah, that's it for like the tier wise. Now I'm probably gonna go in my thoughts and just like ramble because I want to ramble for the most part. But yeah, it's something with don't care. It's like I genuinely just don't care about like these characters, or I just don't care about like their story plots like at all. Because fuck them. Let me just talk about my normal thoughts just entirely. I want to love this game. I genuinely want to love this game. So with like any sequel of a game, when I played the first game, so in this case it would be Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk. I love that game. I think Luca and Nelly were absolutely such good characters that I could you know cherish and love because there were things about them that I loved. Unfortunately, with these 2 main ones, that being Eureka and Nachiroux, I just can't love them as much. They don't have traits that I can like latch on to. They don't have like good voice lines or good moments that I could be like, oh yeah, that was really nice. That what makes them stand out. They don't have a moment for me to latch on, and for me that's kind of who I am as a person. Like I want to latch on to moments. I could be like, oh yeah, that was the 6th scene and whatnot, and I don't think they have a lot of it at all. Another thing is that I think it's too scattered. I think the 3 act is done absolutely like terribly, genuinely. I think Act 1 was decent. I really did like Act 1. I think Aluna was really good. But I really wish we didn't go to Estella, pretty much. I think the Act 2, Estella, is just a weird, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Because so many of the characters in, like, Estella don't really set up for anything, you know, like as you can see, like most of the Witch Society kind of doesn't matter, like Nelly and like Doris is like, what the fuck are these characters doing, you know what I mean? It's just like I really don't know what they were doing with Act 2, and Act 3 is even worse in my opinion. I think Act 3 is absolutely shit, fucking terrible. Like I have to compare this to Coven, because that's just what I do with sequels, and I think that is a fair thing to compare it to the previous game in that title, not to like other series, but I mean like specifically to this series, and it is literally a sequel to like Coven. And I think Act 3 is done so fucking shit. I think the end game is done so terribly. I genuinely don't get it. Like I genuinely don't get what they were thinking with Act 3 at all. Like in Coven's Act 3, you know, or Act 3, like the end game, you were connecting with Metalluca. You already, if you already liked Luca, then you're probably gonna like Metalluca. And it's just like you were connecting with Metalluca. You were showing her stripes. She was there like interacting with characters. I think that was done so well. But Act 3 is so shit. For one, the connection between Act 2 and Act 1, well, actually the connection between all the acts are absolutely shit. So like once you beat Act 1 and then you just dropped into Act 2, they explain Act 1 or like the, at the end of Act 2. But I think at the start of Act 2, you don't know shit, and Act 1 is just pretty much just ignored, and you're just like supposed to just accept that fact. And it's genuinely baffling to me how like I know it was kind of like a bait and switch. You thought that Eureka was going to be the main character. I thought Eureka was going to be the the main character, and then they do a bait and switch on you, and then Eureka is actually not the main character. But to not have her basically like at fucking all in Act 2 is absolutely crazy. And I know you say they go to Aluna in like Act 2, yes, but it genuinely feels like a different Eureka, genuinely. And why I feel like it's a different Eureka is because one of the main things is that the alternate universe of Eureka gets flustered by seeing like Patch and Rom like pull down their pants. Where in the actual timeline, Eureka can see two people having sex and not bat an eye because she's already like had sex with a bunch of people. So so I have to assume that the alternate Eureka wasn't having sex with everybody, and the real one was, just for that like small little detail alone. But just like because the real timeline, it was never stated if she was noble or not. And even the Queen Consort mentioned, oh, are you a farmer's child and whatnot. But in the alternate timeline, the Queen Consort still say, oh, you look well dressed, or are you a noble? So it's just like, they never explained that timeline at all. It was like Eureka, if Eureka was a noble or not, they really didn't explain it, and I wish they did. So it's just like, that's such a major detail that they kind of left out. Like, is Eureka, a slut or not? I don't fucking know. I wish I knew. So yeah. But because I do feel like they were different Eurekas. So again, in my opinion, having the Eureka that I liked, Act 1 Eureka, not show up at fucking all, is absolutely crazy to me. Like I feel like that's such a terrible thing. Another thing would be the interactions between the two MCs, between Nacho and like Eureka. Again, I think Act 1 was really neat, was really cute. I think they were like building up on that thing, and then they just like. Then again, like I said, Act 2 just said, nope, and it's just like, I know it's scattered, but that's kind of just how I am with this game. It's like, I genuinely want to love this game, but compared to Coven, it's just so not there. I think, I genuinely, like, if it was just a normal structured story, I think this game would be better. But like every act is its own standalone shit that doesn't really acknowledge the previous act, and that like really irks me. Cause like in like Act 3, there is nothing. Like you end Act 2 with defeating the Disordinance, and then Nachiroux pushes Eureka away in like the White Void, whatever, and that's it. We get no context, no dialogue, not fucking nothing about like Eureka's resolve or like what actually happened. Just like, figure it out yourself, fuck you! And that's absolutely crazy to me. I think the 3,651 floors is kind of absurd as well. Mainly because the story beats, the story dialogue, every 365 floors are not fucking worth it. Like, genuinely, they are not fucking worth it. 2 of them are neat, and literally only 2 of them. That being like Eureka talking to old Nachiroux and Eureka talking with Eureu. All the other ones are absolutely fucking pointless shit. Like, I do not care about, you know, about Eureka getting like having like a fucking abusive father. We already fucking know this, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about Eureu's backstory because she already fucking explained this. We don't need to see that it actually happened. We already, like, oh my god, Act 3 was so fucking shit. Like, genuinely, Act 3 was so fucking disappointing. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, they don't acknowledge anything, and it's so bad. And like I said, I really want to love this game because I loved Coven, and I thought, hey, it's in the same series, I'll love it. And it's just like, I just can't love it. I want to love this game, but I can't because it's too fucking scattered, and they don't put enough time investment in like the actual characters. Like, there's so many characters that get like one or two screen time. It's just like, what the fuck, you know? Like, oh my fucking god. And it's just like, I want. And then also it having a pretty like open-ended ending is kind of trash as well. It's just like, oh, I don't know where Nachiroux is, but I'm going to do my best to find her. And the problem though is that the last scene we see is that we don't know when it happened. We don't know if this is Uva or if this was Aluna, the alternate Aluna. We don't know which one because the alternate Aluna cuts right at that moment, so that makes sense if it flows, but it could also make sense if it was Eureu's as well, but we don't know which one because each time Fantie is gone. And that's another thing. I don't think our connection, like, I don't think Nachiroux and Eureka liked Fantie or cared as much as Fantie or showed that appreciation as much as I think Luca and Nelly showed to Tracty, pretty much. Like, I feel like in the previous game we were like getting talked to, you know, I could have more interactions, I could say yes or no more often. They like interacted with them, you know, I wanted to feel for them, wanted to connect with them, you know, be with them, you know, they felt bad for me and whatnot. But like this time it's just like there's just nothing. And it's just like, I want to love this game. I genuinely want to love this fucking game. I wouldn't have played like 80 plus hours of this game if I didn't want to. But just like, I don't know because I played more of it because I wanted to at least see what happens, you know, but it's like, there's nothing, you know, it's genuinely like, you know, after completing it, it's like, I don't know if I could recommend this game at all. Gameplay wise, I think it is chill. I think they didn't really do anything differently though, and it's pretty similar to like Labyrinth of Luvalier, like pretty fucking similar. So that's not great. Well, it's fine. Like, it's chill. Like, it's fine, obviously. But you know, it could be, I don't know. I feel like it could be different, I guess. Gameplay, again, like I said, it's fine. The OST, it was chill. I haven't listened to like the complete OST yet, but I do feel like it choosing to go down the procedural generated or like the randomly generated maps was not the great call, because Coven had like unique settings, designs, and like dungeons, and they were all like specific dungeons and whatnot. All the dungeons had like the different themes. You know, you had like this like plant, like this plant bug world, and you had like the underground cavern, you know, type of ordeal. You know, you had like different settings. You know, like a tiny mini world. You know, and what's this one is like it doesn't feel as good. The first part of the game is also a lot more convoluted. I feel like the first part of the game is like gatekeeping you almost, in where like if you didn't play the first game, go fuck yourself. Cause the first dungeon is just like the first and second dungeon are just like convoluted, genuinely in my eyes, where it's just like, where the fuck am I going? Like, I genuinely had no idea what I was going on. Like, if I didn't use a guide, I'd probably be stuck there for like another 5-10 plus hours. Genuinely, if I like didn't use a guide. But yeah, I am glad I did use a guide, because I do recommend using a guide for this game. I don't think it is worth wasting your time, to say the least. Another thing is like the ending, credits is like not that satisfying to me at all. Maybe some people like the ending and it's like satisfying to them. I genuinely feel like the ending credits is not satisfying at all for me personally, because as you can see, for majority of these characters, I don't give a fuck about them, so I don't really care what happens to them. Like, I genuinely do not care. And maybe, you know, if you cared about these characters more, then yeah, you might like the ending scene more. But I feel like them, you know, I like the silhouette of, you know, them sharing the chair and whatnot. That was cute. But like them like creating Eureu was just so like disappointing to me, because just like I don't care what happens to these characters, you know? Like, I genuinely don't. So yeah, I think the ending credits were not that great either. But yeah, I think I, relatively speaking, got like a decent amount of my thoughts out. Just, again, wanted to talk about the game. Got most of my thoughts out, to say the least. So yeah, again, quality of life, there's plenty of quality of life differences, but I think comparatively to Coven, I think this game is just not as good as Coven, and this is purely just from like a character / story driven why, because that's the type of person I am. I like stories, I like characters more than above all, and if you just compare this to my previous list, then it's pretty obvious in why I like Coven more than I like the Moon Society. But yeah, that is it for this one though. TLDR, I wish it wasn't too scattered, and I wish the two MCs interacted more with each other. But yeah, that is it for this one though. Yeah, for now.